Cool. Yeah. Finally famous, nigga. Yeah.
This your boy CJ Goodfella King, and I'm back with another Colossal Sports Zone video. Talk about break down the NBA conference finals. We wrapped it up last night with the Pacers beating the Wizards the other night. Portland got ended by the San Antonio Spurs, and last night the Clippers got ended by the Thunder, and then the Heat ended the Brooklyn Nets. So let's hop into the East first. The East seems like it's Miami's to take in, but you got to remember that Indiana is built to beat the Miami Heat. They are built to beat the Heat with all the big guys, and they beefed up their bench. Even though they might struggle with other teams, they built to beat the Miami Heat, and they have home court advantage. The Heat, in my opinion, is not good as other years. They had an easier road to the finals, but this will be an interesting matchup. It's interesting to see if Roy Hibbert can dominate the Heat like he used to, and if Paul George ready to make that step to the next level. And for Miami, can them legs hold up? Can Shane Battier hit the big shots like he usually hits the big shots? Can LeBron James continue to weather the load, or can Dwayne Wade shoulder some of the load for a game or two or three to propel them to the Eastern Conference Finals? And for Indiana, it's can David West and Roy Hibbert show up and dominate the boards and dominate the inside scoring? And can Paul George and Lance Stevenson show up? And the wild card is Luis Scola and George Hill. Both of those guys have to be big, and C.J. Watson always played big versus the Heat, even going back with his days in the Bulls. So it'll be an interesting matchup, but the rest is going to be on the Heat side as usual. But I'm gonna go with Miami in 7. I think they close it out on Indiana's home court, probably by 5. So it'll be an interesting game. But game one, I'll lean towards giving it to Indiana. I can see them winning the series because they get up for Miami. But I think my LeBron is just playing phenomenal. I think these 3 days of rest are definitely going to help him and propel him to get back, shouldering the load and continue to dominate these playoffs. The West is a little bit more interesting and probably speak a little bit longer. San Antonio is just outstanding. The only thing that really worries me in San Antonio is Tony Parker's health and mentality, because I didn't even see him get hurt versus Nicholas Batum, and Nicholas Batum was really shutting him down and giving them problems like LeBron was last year after game one. Tony Parker hit that shot, and Tony Parker just like he just checked out and just left the game. It didn't look like he was injured, like he just checked out and eventually didn't want to be there anymore. And Patty Mills came in and saved the day with Kawhi Leonard. It's funny how when a bigger guy gets on Tony Parker, he always checks out the game, or it's somehow he reported he have a hamstring injury. I don't think he's mentally tough as a Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, and maybe because he's a smaller guard. Well, not really. He's like a 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" guard, but I don't know. I don't know why he checks out sometimes, and that would worry me about the Spurs. But other than that, they got the whole thing working. The bench with Boris Diaw, got Tiago Splitter out there. Tim Duncan is looking vintage. Tim Duncan. Ginobili is looking good, but this is usually about the time that Ginobili usually starts to slow down and really shows his age, or somebody on the Spurs get injured. But they always seem to overcome it. And Patty Mills is playing out his mind. And OKC, they're starting to figure it out, but not on a consistent basis. Westbrook is starting to make the better passes and the better plays, and he's starting to understand when to pick his spots and get his teammates involved. Something I don't think he can do even at this level. It's not a consistent level, but if he consistently keeps doing this, I see the Thunder coming over the Spurs at 6. I'm closing it out at home. I like their team. I like Westbrook is the difference. He's playing like the real MVP. Kevin Durant is doing his thing. He's unguardable. Nobody over there can guard Durant. Ibaka got hurt last night. That kind of worried me. I don't know how bad the injury is, but if he's injured, it changes the whole series. I would probably take the Spurs in 6 or 7 if Ibaka's hurt. But Steven Adams is playing good. It's about time for them to amnesty Kendrick Perkins. He's nothing. He's big nothing out there. They got Steven Adams and That's what I see. I see the Thunder in Miami in the finals. MVP versus MVP for the last 2 years. Let me know who y'all got, and I'll do a game review after every 2 games. In the final, in the conference final, and then the finals, I'll do a post game review every day after the finals. It's Colossal Sports Zone should be coming up across your skates. Like us on Facebook. We're trying to get the different sports rolling. Like Colossal Boxing Talk if you like boxing, and send me a friend request. This your boy CJ Goodfella, and guess what? We gone. Bow.
Yeah. 2 Chainz.
DJ Drama, fuck these niggas.
They say I run the streets, I tell them no wonder. The cheapest thing I got on this my belt and this 400. They say I run the streets, I tell them no wonder. The cheapest thing I got on this my belt and this 400. They say I run the streets, I tell them no wonder. The cheapest thing I got on this my belt and this 400. Real, recognized, real, and you don't look familiar. If my girl worked at a spa, man, she still wouldn't feel you. Cocaine flow, they done dropped me in the pot. I came out hard and I sold on the block. Till the 2 Chainz, I've been